This is the Action Movie Guys podcast, bringing you action movie reviews from across the decades, plus box office numbers and insight like never before. And now, your hosts of the Action Movie Guys podcast, Alex and Nate.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode number 326 of the Action Movie Guys podcast. I'm your host, Nate, and my co-host is
Alex Figueroa.
And on this episode, we are going to be continuing on with our Cops and Robbers month. Now, this one doesn't have any robbers, but it's definitely a cop movie, an investigative movie. It's from 2010. It's a little movie called Edge of Darkness, directed by Martin Campbell, starring Mel Gibson and a bunch of other good actors as well. But before we get into it, we do have a special guest this week. He was here for our last episode, and he's back again. His name is Jay. Jay, go ahead and say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone. This is Jay from JManly84 on Instagram.
There you go. That's where he's from, and that's where you could find him. JManly84 on Instagram. So yes, quick question for you guys before we get into, because just get these weird, wait till you hear these Rotten Tomatoes scores. You're going to be like, something's weird going on with these. I know the answer to Alex. I'm not going to ask you. Jay, have you ever seen this movie before doing this review?
Well, surprisingly, it was you guys that convinced me to pick up this movie. And it was the words, "Oh, baby," from Papa Al that really convinced me to pick this up.
That sounds like him. Yes, that sounds like him.
But it sat on my shelf, and I completely forgot that I owned it. And so when I saw that it was on the list to watch, I said, I'm going to have to watch this now. So I'm glad I did.
It was a first-time watch, is what you're saying.
First-time watch.
Oh, so we got a first-time watch. We got a, I don't know how many time watch from Alex.
Yes.
You have to guess.
I'm sorry?
Fourth, fifth? I'm talking to Alex. How many
for
times
me, it's been like, it's sixth time. This is the seventh?
Seventh time.
Seventh time.
And this is going to come off crazy. I thought I saw this movie more times. I saw this at the theater back in 2010. I think this is the first time I watched it since then because I didn't even remember. All I remember was getting scared of that one part where the girl gets hit by the car. And that's well, I didn't remember much else.
Well, you know what's funny? What reminded me of this movie, right? Like, so the fact is that Martin Campbell is one of the top 5 directors for me in terms of, because he did a lot of big 007 films. So that's where I knew him from. When I saw the trailer to this, it was like from the directors of GoldenEye, right? Like, and all this stuff. And I was
Casino
just like,
Royale
what?
at the time.
Yeah, Casino Royale. So I was just like, oh my God. And then Mel Gibson was that remember when he had like, he was away from Hollywood because of the Jewish stuff or something like that, or racist
like
comment,
kind
he
of
said.
A little comeback for him.
Yeah, so all of a sudden they were like, Mel Gibson's back. And I was like, what? With Martin Campbell? I was like, no. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh my God, this looks maybe right up my alley. I didn't see this in the theater. When I purchased it on Blu-ray and I took it home to watch, I said, oh my God, my man Mel is back. I mean, it didn't bring back his status or whatever, but I was just like, okay, these two are good together. And I was like, I love this movie. But yeah.
All right, so this is going to be an interesting show, I think. I think we're going to have a good time. Alex loves this movie. Jay's only watched it once. I've now seen it twice. And listen, I know this is going to be an interesting show because listen to these Rotten Tomato scores, okay? This is the first time in history we've had this happen. I'll give you the audience score first. The audience score for this movie is a 49%. 49, not great, just under 50. Well, we'll round up, we'll call it 50, half and half.
Okay.
Now, here's why it's weird. There's literally no score for critics. It's literally not, it's just 2 little lines. There's critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, but there's no score. So for critics, it's nothing. It doesn't exist. I don't have a score to give you. So this just has the 49% audience score. So, I don't know what happened, but like I said, there's reviews written, but I don't know what it is. So
do you think it possibly could be that he was still kind of blacklisted in Hollywood?
No, because there's movies with rapers and all kind of crazy people, and they have scores. I don't know what it is.
Robert Downey
There's just
Jr.
no
is Iron Man.
consensus. Exactly. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. So, I don't know. All I'll say is Rob says 55%. Okay, I couldn't find that anywhere. We'll go with Rob's 55 though on the Robin Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Robin Tomatoes.
Okay, so anyway, all right, where do I want to go for? I want to go to Alex. I want to go to Alex first because this is his jam, and I'm interested to see his points on this movie. So, Alex, we're gonna start with you. Lead character Tom Craven, played by one Mel Gibson.
All right, so for performance, Mel Gibson gets a 5. I mean, hands down, right? The character, I like his character. He's a loving father. He's a Boston detective. So I love movies when the dudes are detectives and all this crap. So like, I like that stuff. But he's a loving father. They kill his daughter and he's on a rampage. Like he's trying to solve her murder. And I'm like, that is actually, I mean, well, the thing is that they didn't give him the kickback. Like you can't solve your own daughter's murder. Like they didn't do none of that shit, which is kind of weird, like for this type of movie. But again, I'm not complaining. So that's what they did. I liked him. Well, first of all, Mel Gibson was amazing. So I enjoyed him as the character. The character himself, I just think he's a lovable. He did anything that a father would do in his situation. He has no wife. Daughter came to visit. She gets killed under his watch. And he's like, what the F is going on here? And then he starts to follow the clues and all this, and then leads up to the ending. So with that said, the character Craven, I give him a 4. I think he's a great character. I don't think he's perfect. But if you're going to say Mel Gibson's a 5 in this role. I think he was amazing, believable. And I felt so bad for Emma Craven. Like, yeah. I love the beginning of the movie. It leads off with the home video of, hey, Dad, let's go to the beach. Like, all that shit gets me sad because, like, I'm with my kids now. So it's like, it's just really so heartfelt when you see those home videos and then you see what leads up in the film. So to me, a 4. I think the character's great.
Very fair. Jay, what do you have?
With watching this movie, I loved how they were doing the flashbacks, like going to the beach. And there was a scene where he was shaving and he had a flashback where he put shaving cream on her face and he took the back of the comb and she was shaving and all that stuff. It was like we were talking about with Jack Ryan's stories where he had all the family element there. So with that, I gave him a 5. Because I thought it was just a really good character-based thing, doing the family element there as well.
Okay, I agree with Alex. I gave him a 4. I wish there was more, to be honest, I wish there was more flashbacks when she was grown. I would have liked to have seen their relationship now rather than everything being when she was a little kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I understand what they were doing. I'm not saying I have a problem with it. I just would have liked, because she comes home and then when he didn't know the boyfriend at all. It seemed like they were together for a while. So it seemed like the relationship may not have been amazing. And I would have liked to have seen kind of why or what happened and then, whatever the case may be. Either way, I agree with Alex. I think he's good, but to me, I disagree a little bit. I don't love the performance. I don't like that he talks so low the whole time, just talking like this the whole time. There's scenes where I had to put the volume up really loud because I don't like to watch subtitles. I had to put it up really loud to hear what they were saying. Him and Ray Winstone both. Whoever did the sound mixing for this.
No, I think it's the mixing. I don't think it's the acting. I think it was the mixing. They also
talked soft. Like they did. They talked like.
Yeah, but I think it was mostly the sound mixing was horrible.
It's horrible. Yeah. It's one of the worst sound mixing jobs.
I had to put it at a 90 because I was like, what the hell is going on?
Dude, so okay, it wasn't just me. I had to put it super loud because I couldn't hear it. So I didn't like that aspect. His performance was good overall. I didn't like that everyone talked so low. But yeah, I think he's a cop trying to solve the murder. I agree. The chief is like, you can't do that. And he's like, well, they're trying to kill me, so blah, blah, blah. And he just says, oh, okay, you're right, sure, whatever. And they just like, whatever. And there's a lot of other scenes where it's like, he was moving around in a lot of ways that I feel like, even though he's a cop, it wouldn't quite work that way. But that's more so for maybe storyline. I don't know. I gave him a 4 though. I think he's a very good character, trying to, loves his daughter, trying to solve what happened. She died in his arms. That's tough. And I did like the flashbacks overall. I like the end too. I like when they're at the hospital and they walk like,
when he died.
I think it's well done the way they did that scene. So I like that. Okay. Main villain. Now this is going to be Danny Houston.
Yeah.
He plays Jack Bennett. Jay, what do you think?
Well, I felt like he was a puppet in the whole thing, in a sense, as far as a villain goes, because he was being that one senator was doing the bidding for the weapons, nuclear weapons, because if I remember right, at the end of the movie, they were sitting there smoking cigars and drinking, and they were laughing. They kind of laughed because if I remember right, Tom Craven was poisoned, and they were laughing about, oh, he's dying in a hospital. So I was thinking that the senator was the villain versus more of the villains versus Danny Houston. So I was kind of going.
I'll say why it's not though, because the senator was allowing them to do what they were doing for the financial gains, but he wasn't literally like on the board telling them to create weapons for foreign countries and all that kind of stuff. They were doing that on their own. He was just kind of turning a blind eye for political and financial reasons. So he wasn't really the main villain.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to go, if it was that case, I'm going to give this guy a 3 because all he did was point fingers and tell what these guys to do. He didn't do much. He just, when he cowered, basically, when Mel Gibson's character, Tom Craven came at him and didn't do anything. It's just there was not much that he did. It's like the henchmen did more villainous things than he did. They came and they trailed Tom. They shot at him, and what did he do? Nothing.
Okay, so 3 for you. All right, Alex, what do you got?
All right, so Danny Hudson. Okay, so this was a little. So he didn't do jack. Like, honestly, he didn't. Personally, he didn't do nothing. He allowed other people to do his betting. And honestly, the only thing he did was shot Mel Gibson, and that's it. But the plan that they got together is kind of messed up. Like, he was pretty much setting up other countries with terrorist attacks,
nuclear weapons.
Yeah, nuclear weapons. And I was like, holy crap, like that's diabolical. But the thing is, we didn't see that in action. So I couldn't give that a score because I didn't get to see the bomb go off, them blaming other countries, and then Emma Craven going, oh, hell no. So like for me, I was just like, okay, you got to, it's like you got yourself a point there, but I can't give you a real point because you didn't use it and utilize it. So for me, I didn't work. I gave him a 1. Because honestly, he does got the 2 goons that followed him, but honestly, anyone has 2 goons. He did poison them, but he is not the one who put that poison, the radiation in it. He's the one who told them to put that in there so they could get killed. So at the end of everything, he was just nothing. He's just nothing. So I gave him a 1. He's just a 1.
Yeah, I'm right. I agree with both of you. I'm right in the middle of you, so we'll go with all 3. I gave it a 2. You got a 1, a 2, and a 3. The only reason I'm giving him, he could have been a 1. Absolutely. Alex, I don't disagree at all. I'm going to give him a point because I do think the plan is so evil. It's just evil enough for me to give him a little credit for it. But you're right. You don't see it. There's no effect of it, because they talk about using having a jihadist use the bomb in the Middle Eastern. This is a small scale movie if we really think about it. It all takes place in one little area in Massachusetts. You know what I mean? You see the same locations like multiple times, you go to the boyfriend's house a couple times, or at the guy's house a couple times, or go to the facility a couple times, and the police station once, and the hospital. That's it. You know what I mean? So it's not, I guess they didn't want to, to keep it smaller. They didn't want to do anything like that, but it would have been cooler. So that's where I agree with you, Alex. But I'm not going to spend more time. I gave him a 2. He shot Mel Gibson when he wasn't looking, when he wasn't paying attention. And then he still got shot. And then he had to drink the milk, the radioactive milk, like a punk. He did milk.
He poured that shit down his throat.
He did.
Like,
he
was like, if I'm
he started throwing up.
You die. That dude
he went to take the pills or whatever, and then he got blasted. So you're right. I agree. He was whack. So I gave him a 2, the weak part of the movie for sure. Okay, action scenes. This is the one I'm interested to see how this goes. Alex, what do you got?
Oh, man, this is why I hate the show. This is why I hate our podcast. This movie has no action. I mean, it has action, but not as much as you think. But it has memorable action. I mean, well, let's just sum it up here. The daughter getting blasted with a shotgun, flying through the door, is one of the best I ever seen in a movie. And I love the sequence because Mel Gibson forgot his gun and he's trying to grab it to save his daughter and he couldn't. And you see her just fly.
Yep.
And I said, oh, that shit is crazy. Loved it. 2, the lady getting hit by a car is one of the craziest things I ever seen. But what I'm giving it the score, because honestly, other than that, they're doing the car chase, whatever, but it wasn't a real car chase. And then the ending shooting is really dope, but he was already dying at that. So I couldn't give it the full fledged. Yeah. What gives this movie what I gave it is after the girl gets hit with the car, my man runs up to her and he's like, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. And the car does the 180. And then he revs it and then he starts going towards my man Mel. And he gets up and he grabs it and he starts to shoot. And I'm like, I'm catching goosebumps because my man is just laying and you never seen that. Like, and this is what I mean. The sequence, how Mark Campbell does it, is one of the genius way. The car stops, allows him to get up. He grabs his gun, puts mad bullets into the windshield, shoots the dude in the head. I mean, you're assuming he did because you see blood all over the place. Yeah. Then he shoots the tire, which you never seen that in the movie because you see the car go off and just, ram into a rock or something. But no, Mel's like, not this time. He shoots him, goes right into the river. And I'm like, that sequence I had to rewind it another time because I was like, this joint was so dope. Like the way they shot it. Loved it. And I mean, honestly, it sucks because it doesn't have as much action that you think it does. It's not getting a perfect, but I think I gave it a 4. I'm leaning to a 3. I would have gave it a 3, but I'm giving it a 4 because that sequence with the car and him shooting that car into the river is one of the dopest scenes I think I've seen in one of these type of low budget movies. So I give it a 4. I thought it had great, memorable scenes.
Interesting. All right. Oh, also, if you were watching that car crash scene on 90 volume, and then it had to be scary because
dude,
so
the
loud.
Baby jumped.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
no, the sound effects were loud. The talking is low in this movie for some reason. It's kind of low, but everything from gun shooting and everything. Yeah, I totally forgot about that scene. So when it hit, the baby jumped, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah, that's pretty much what I said.
Threw the baby in the air.
Yeah, I threw the baby in the air. I was like, "What up?" But go ahead, Jay.
All right, Jay, what do you got? Action.
I'm going to go with everything Alex said, except I'm going to dial it back. I gave it a 3. I mean, I did have the volume up a little bit too because you couldn't hear anything. And those scenes, like you said, the way this director does scenes, it was more like of a jump, because like when they open the door, it's just kind of like, what the fuck just happened? Because like he opens the door and, hey, Craven, bang, that freaks you out. And then when that girl gets out of the car after he hands her after she hands him and she steps out and bang, and it's just like, what the heck happened again? You're getting those, but no, I didn't feel like the action was good enough. I think this is more story-driven story for again, but yeah, a 3 is all I can give it. But it was a good movie.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll be the most hardcore. I gave it a 2. Ooh. Alex, I love that scene too. Probably it gets a 2 for that scene because other than that, to me, this movie doesn't really have action, but it has violence. There's a difference. That girl getting blasted with a shotgun, it's a violent scene. Like she goes flying. There's like blood everywhere. She looks wrecked. Her back is all like, you could tell she just got absolutely destroyed. The shooting at the end, like when he's walking up to the house, he shoots that dude in the head and there's like just spray of, but it's so quick. But it's violent. But that's the only like action scene is him with the gun, with the car. And for that, I give it a 2 because other than that, you have the fight with the boyfriend, the little fight in the house, which is not great. It's also, you could super see it's a stunt double. It doesn't even look like Mel Gibson when he's fighting. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's just some guy named Fred. So I hate to do it. I agree with you, Alex. Like this is one of those situations where it's like, man, this movie's good, but I have to score the action part. It's going to affect the overall score, but it is what it is for me. I gave it a 2. All right. Storyline, Jay, what do you got?
Okay. There's one thing I love about genre movies, and conspiracy movies is one of my favorite genres. Obviously, this was a conspiracy movie. And we knew, it took a while for us to figure out what was going on with him being a detective mode. And you find out that the daughter was a whistleblower. She went against the office policies of she basically ratted out on her company when she wasn't supposed to. The company found out and they poisoned her, and then the boyfriend was trying to keep himself on the down low. And Mel Gibson, of course, Tom Craven finds out, and he gets, and the story continues, and so they're trying to kill him as well, and they succeed at it. So with all this going on, I like this story a lot, and so I'm glad I watched it, and I gave it a 5. I thought it was an incredible story with everything that happened here.
Nice. 5. All right, Alex, what do you got?
All right, so it's interesting watching this movie. When you see Edge of Darkness, you see Mel Gibson, you thinking pure action. Like you go, oh man, this is gonna be one of those like straight to DVD action. I could say this didn't feel like a straight to DVD action. It felt like a short film festival films. You know what I mean? Like those. Like a student film, like someone shot it for like a school project. Like that's what this looks like. It feels like Martin Campbell, he's a great eye for action, great eye for story. And you can see it here. Yes, this is a story-driven movie. I do enjoy the concept of the film. Yes, it is a conspiracy. Yes, but the part that what makes this movie fun is the fact that it's a revenge at the end. Mm-hmm. He's trying to solve the murder of his daughter, and knowing that his friend threw him under the bus, One of his cop friends threw him under the bus for money and didn't want to get his kids killed, which is kind of messed up at the end. That pissed me off the most. And I was like, this dude's a douche. The way everything unfolded, and I think they didn't do it in a way that it was boring. I think the way he was solving, trying to connect the dots, I thought it was really great. It reminded me of Insomnia with Al Pacino and Robert Williams, like that style of, like Christopher Nolan
it's
movie.
a mystery.
Yeah, it's a mystery, a murder mystery with his daughter. And I thought it worked very well. I agree with Nate, though. The locations were so they couldn't afford this section of the Boston, so they had to use this. But I liked it, though. I enjoyed it for what it was. I liked the story a lot. It's not one of those that I will gravitate to all the time. I did see it 7 times, but it was one of those times that I enjoy watching it. It's not like it's boring. It's not a boring movie at all. And I think it's the way Martin Campbell shoots the movie with the story. It flows. So for me, I hate to do this, but I gave it for storyline, I gave it a great. I gave it a 4, but in reality, I gave it, to be biased, I would give it a 3 for good, but I'm giving it a 4 because I do enjoy it a lot. And I still think it holds up. The storyline still holds up after all these years.
Now, this is a couple weird facts. This is based on a British TV show. By the way, it was a miniseries. Yeah, it was a British miniseries that this is based off of. And you know what's weird? I see what you're saying, Alex. To me, it feels like a 70s movie. A 70s
modern,
a modern version. And what's really weird is that this had a budget of $80 million. Wow. I can't imagine it having to be more than 10, but apparently 80 million. Well, that's why it was a bomb, because it only made 80 million at the box office. So it lost money with overall. I think it's weird that it cost that much, because if you would have told me this was like a $30 million, thriller, I would be like, yeah, I could definitely see that. So either way, I don't think it hurts the story. I give the story a 4. I agree with you, Alex. Yeah. I think it's good, really good. There's a couple things that prevent it from being perfect. I will say there are some parts in this that are a little boring. Honestly, I was watching and I was like, I'm a little bored here. It's not overly long, and it's not the pacing. It's just there are times where it's less interesting than other times, certain aspects. And I feel like it took a while for certain things to unfold. They give you so many breadcrumbs. It's like, okay. And they keep giving you, and then finally when they reveal it, it's not as awesome as you think it's going to be. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're like, you've been building this up for an hour and a half, and then it's just kind of like, oh, okay, that's bad, but not as what I thought it was going to be. So, but I do love the aspect of him trying to solve it. I love the father-daughter stuff. The best character in this whole movie is Jedburgh, that's played by Ray Winstone. He's the most interesting character in the whole movie because he's a mystery. Literally, the dude just shows up in his house. He has a lot of ability behind the scenes. Obviously, he's in the meeting with these people. He can make things happen. He's a captain. But then when that guy's like, captain of what? He's like, stuff you don't even need to know about. I'm like, I want a Jedburgh movie, but we're not going to get it because obviously he got shot. Well, he could have been alive. There was no blood. He just fell over. But a Jedburgh movie, he was dying anyway. Cool.
I think he had those pills.
Yeah, remember he was. Yeah, that's right. He was dying anyway.
I think he was interesting. I think he had radiation poisoning.
I liked him. I would have liked to see more of him too. I would have liked to see him and Mel Gibson, because I like that little banter of he's like, I'm not really going to stop you, but if I really have to, I can stop you. You know what I mean? But I'm going to let you do this. Overall, very good story. So I agree. I gave it a 4. I do think it's very good. Okay. Overall, Alex, what's your score?
Again, so overall, I like this movie a lot. And I will still say this is, to me, one of the top Mel Gibson films in terms of action genre that he does. And I'm not talking about his overall big movies. I think this is up there in his action films. I enjoy this one a lot. I think it still holds up. When the movie ended, I was like, this movie still holds up after all these years. So I liked it for what it is. Like I said, Martin Campbell does a great job with these movies. So anything with him on it, I'm there. So I give it a 4. I think it's a great movie and it still holds up. I'm not going to give it a 5 because it's not a perfect movie. Yeah. But now that you said $80 million, maybe I'm trying to think, where the hell did that budget go to?
I don't know.
Could it be? They did have a lot of
names in the cast.
They have good actors. So, and then the location and the director himself. So
they did shoot. If they shoot on location, it's usually more expensive. So if they shot in Boston, it might have.
Most likely they did. It looked like they did
5 areas. Yes, but they probably did.
Yeah. So I gave it a 4. It was great.
A 4 from you. All right, Jay, what do you got?
I give it a 4 as well, and I'm glad you mentioned that about the miniseries. It was 1985 that miniseries came out, and I'm curious. I would love to see that miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
So just to see.
And it's British. They do good. Yeah, they good TV shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure that it might be a pretty good miniseries. So be kind of curious to see how it compared between this and this movie, that miniseries. But yeah, I gave it a 4.
4.
Definitely want to watch it again.
I'm disappointed. I gave it a 3. I remember, this is where I'm pulling an Alex more than Alex did. I feel like I remember liking this more when I saw it the first time. And maybe I did. I have the Blu-ray, but again, I never watched it again. So sometimes in my head, there's always a reason like, why did I never put this back in? And subconsciously, maybe I thought it was a little boring. I found it a little boring this time around. And I was excited to watch this too. Because I remember it being a little bit more like gritty and aggressive than it is. It's not. It's like, it takes its time. It's a very adult drama. It has the revenge element, which we love. You know, we always talk about revenge movies as one of our favorite kind of subgenres. And it has that element because of the daughter stuff. But literally there are scenes of him like talking to people about like science and what are they doing at the factories. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not what I want all the way. I do like the little speech at the end with the other cop. He's like, you know, don't take the money from bad guys. But then he's like, he runs out like this. Like, it was kind of corny. I'm like, well, come on, get this guy out of here. So yeah, I gave it a 3. I was not happy that I had to, but I still think it's good. I do think it's a good movie. I think it's worth watching. Definitely. I'm not saying it's bad in any way, but I was a little let down. All right. So what is your total points, Alex?
Let me see. 17 out of a 25.
We're not far apart. Jay, what do you got?
Yeah.
I have a 20.
Jay's the high man. I got a 15. Yeah. It's really the action and the villain that hurt it the most. If those were slightly better, this would be closer to the 20 range for me. And shout out to our other Patreon, Robert, who gave the action a 5. I don't know which version he watched, but he gave the action a 5. Classic Rob. Anyway, here's what we got coming up next week on the show. We will be continuing on with the Jack Ryan watch through with our old buddy Evan. It will be The Sum of All Fears starring Ben Affleck and Morgan Freeman. And then Evan will be back for the next show. Now we got another cops and robbers movie, a little movie called Pride and Glory. Now this stars Edward Norton and Colin Farrell. If I remember correctly, this is one of those like good cop, bad cop type scenarios. Like one's crooked and one's nice, but they're friends. That's what I remember. We'll see. I could be totally wrong. But yeah, that's what we got coming up on the next 2 episodes.
Well, there you have it. Jay, thank you so much for joining in on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was pretty fun, even though I got nervous, but I'll shake those nervousness for the next time.
All right.
No worries.
Thank you.
All right. Other than that, guys, you guys want to follow us on our social media accounts, please follow Nate over on Instagram at Netflix Reviews. Check out the podcast with him and his friends called Netflix Movie Reviews. And of course, we go live every other Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern over on Nate's channel on Instagram at Netflix Reviews. And of course, anything action movie guys, Instagram, Geeks and Flicks, head over to our official website, www.geeksandflicks.com. Other than that, I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
Be awesome to each other and geek out.